So good afternoon. Shortly after 10 a.m. this morning, Athens-Clarke County Police officers responded to the 100 block of Chalfont Drive for a report of a suspicious female who was said to possibly be armed with a knife and possibly have in her possession a firearm. Upon arrival, an officer encountered a 54-year-old white female who did in fact have in her possession a knife. The officer retreated away from the female, gave her numerous orders to drop the knife. However, that individual did not comply with the officer's direction to drop the knife, and at one point when that individual advanced toward the officer with the knife raised in a threatening manner, the officer fired shots which struck that individual. That individual fell to the ground. We administered first aid to her. She was transported to a local area hospital. Unfortunately, she did succumb to her injuries. As is the case, anytime any of our officers are involved in a officer-involved shooting, we immediately contacted the Georgia Bureau of Investigations and the Athens Special Agent in charge, Jesse Maddox, and his crew were en route within a matter of a very short period of time. Also, in accordance with our policy, the officer that was involved in that shooting has been placed on administrative leave with pay pending a preliminary investigation of the facts in that matter. Still very early on. We're not going to be releasing the name of the individual that was involved pending the notification of the next of kin. And so at this point, if you have any questions, I'd be glad to take those questions.
Chief, did this woman live at that apartment complex?
We believe she did live in that apartment complex, yes.
Did you ever confirm whether or not there was actually a firearm?
We're still very early on in the investigation, and I don't want to get too deep into what evidence we do have at this point. We did recover a knife from the scene.
What type of knife was it being used?
I don't want to get into the details of the specifics of the knife. It was a large knife.
Did she threaten?
Who called?
We're still looking into that. We believe she may have contacted the police, but that's still yet to be determined.
The body cameras rolling, and have you viewed the footage yourself yet?
We do have body camera footage of the incident, and I have viewed some of the body camera footage, but I need time to go back and look at all of the body camera footage.
What you have seen follow that narrative, though, what you shared here?
Pretty much, yes.
Will that body camera video be available?
At some point in the future, I can't say exactly when we will be releasing that body-worn camera
Do you
video.
know whether drugs or alcohol were involved?
Don't have that information at this point.
Sir, did she say anything to the officer when the officer arrived? She was already standing outside of the apartment?
She began to walk towards the officer, and from what I know in our preliminary investigation, she did indicate that she had a knife and a gun to the officer.
At that time at the scene, was it just that one individual officer when the shooting happened, or was there other support there?
There were at least one officer at the scene and other officers en route.
How many shots were fired, Chief?
Don't want to get into the exact number of shots that were fired, sir.
Did she threaten to kill the police officer?
Other than her indicating that she had a knife and a gun, we have to wait for the GBI to complete their investigation on exactly what was said.
Have your officers been in contact with this woman before at that particular address, or know of her?
We know of that individual, but the exact extent of our prior contacts is going to be part of our investigation.
Do you know if she's mentally ill?
I don't want to expand on that right now. Like I said, we'll be back with additional information later on. I may be able to get you some more information along those lines.
Can you confirm what number OIS this is for your jurisdiction this year?
Yeah, this is our 5th officer-involved shooting.
Chief, I know some of those previous shootings involved quite a few officers in some occasions. Has this officer been involved in one of those earlier shootings?
No, he has not.
He has not. And then as far as the efforts to tend to aid this woman, the officer that fired the shot, did he rush to try to help her? As once support got there, he stepped back and they tried helping her?
So initially, after the shots were fired, he stayed back and covered the individual until additional officers came, and then the other officers were primarily involved in the rendering of first aid. This is a traumatic, anytime an officer takes another person's life, it's a traumatic experience for them, so you can imagine that if he felt comfortable that other people were providing first aid, that he would have deferred to them. I'll take one more question.
The shooting on October 5th, as of October 9, that person, Salvador Salazar, was in the hospital. serious condition. Do you have any updates as to his condition?
No, I do not.
Sir, where did this actual shooting happen? Did it happen in the parking lot or outside?
In the street in the 100 block of Chalfont. Thank you. I don't know if you have anything you want to add, or we good?